Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Monkey Knife Fight Show here on Sharpside. I'm Turd Ferguson. I'm bringing you some of my favorite props over on Monkey Knife Fight. Haven't signed up for it yet? Making bad life choices. Sign up using the promo code Grinders. Get a free 100% deposit bonus on your first $50. It's free money. All you got to do is play through it and it is yours, and you don't even have to do any research. Just watch these videos multiple times a week, throw in these props, and let the money roll in. Got 4 of you today, all from the big game this weekend. Before I get to that, don't forget to like and subscribe over on the Sharpside channel so you know exactly when these videos come out. All right, let's get to my first prop here. It's a 2 out of 3 rapid fire in the big game this weekend. Yep, it's Super Sunday, and there is a super good game going on here. We got Garoppolo going up against Mahomes here. Garoppolo is getting 8.5 fantasy points here. To me, that's too much. Mahomes is a fantastic quarterback, puts up big numbers every single week. Garoppolo, we don't know how much he's going to pass, but 8.5 is way too much considering Garoppolo has a decent matchup going up against the KC defense, and Mahomes has one of the toughest, if not the toughest matchup going up against the San Francisco defense. Probably going to get shut down to an extent. No one can fully shut down Mahomes. He's too darn good, but they are probably going to keep him to less than 24 points in all likelihood here, and Garoppolo is getting over 16 points here. So Garoppolo is the better play here at 8.5 points, getting it. Next up, Kelsey versus Hill. I have Kelsey pegged for more points than Hill. It's that simple. In this matchup, I have Kelsey going for more than Hill. Hill probably going to get shut down to a decent extent here. No one can fully shut him down, but Kelsey should be getting a large volume. There's a full point PPR site. Kelsey's getting more receptions here. Kelsey's the safer play, and he's getting 2.5 points. Easy money. Next up, Kittel versus Williams here. Kittel going up against the KC defense gives up a ton of targets to opposing tight ends. Kittel going to be heavily involved in the passing game here. He should crush in this matchup. Williams going up against a tough 49ers run defense. It's going to be a tough matchup for him, but it's a good matchup for Kittel. I'm rolling with Kittel. All right, next up, we have my second prop here. It's another 2 out of 3 rapid fire in the big game this weekend. All right, we got Garoppolo versus Mahomes here. Total passing yards. Garoppolo getting 72.5. That's too many. Currently, Vegas has Mahomes pegged for just under 300. Garoppolo just over 230 here. Or 240 rather. So you're getting a nice little 12.5 yard edge here with Garoppolo. I think that Garoppolo's going to end up passing a little bit more in this matchup. I think that KC ends up winning it, so they're probably going to be passing. Later on in the game with San Francisco, Garoppolo ends up within 72.5 passing yards of Mahomes, I think, the majority of the time here. Next up, Kelsey versus Hill, total receptions. Currently, Vegas has both of them pegged for 5.5 receptions, but super heavy juice on the over for Kelsey, minus 160. Super heavy juice on the under for Hill, minus 140. So, good chance that Kelsey ends up with one more reception or more than one more reception than Hill here. I'm rolling with Kelsey. Last up, Williams versus Mostert. Total rushing yards. Williams getting 36.5. Currently, Vegas has him pegged for around 25 less rushing yards than Mostert. I'm rolling with Williams. I think the game script favors him a little bit more. While the matchup is way worse for him, Mostert going to share carries if Coleman comes back. If not, Burrito will end up getting some regardless. So, Williams is the better play here. All right, next up, we have my third prop. It's a 2 out of 3 more or less in the big game this week. All right, so we got Mahomes, more or less than 25.5 points. Currently have him pegged for less in all the projection systems. Around 23 points. It's going up against San Fran. Incredibly tough pass defense. Quite possibly the best in the league here. And Mahomes, although he can put up big numbers versus anyone, 25.5, fairly high number. I think that he ends up less than that more often than he doesn't. So I'm rolling with the less. Next up, Garoppolo, 17.5. I'm going with more. Yes, he only passed 8 times in the last game. This is not going to be the same game. This high-powered Kansas City offense is going to put up points here. So Garoppolo's going to be forced to throw the ball a little bit more. Plus, KC is the favorite. So the game script favors Garoppolo throwing a little bit. I'm going with more of 17.5. Last up, Hill, more or less than 18.5. I'm going with the less, 18.5. A little high of a number. Currently got him pegged for around 16. Hill, really boo or bust, going up against the toughest pass D in the league here. I think that 18.5, just too high for me. I think he ends up less than that way more often than he doesn't. I'm taking the less. All right, last up, I got my last prop of the night. Before we get to that, don't forget to like and subscribe over on the Sharpside channel so you know exactly when these videos come out. But let's get to my last prop of the night of the big game weekend. It is a fantasy challenge. All right, so there's multiple different options here. You can go 2x, you can go 3x, you can go 5x. I went 5x. I went a little ballsy here. I think that this still has a decent shot at hitting. It offers you some good value. Kelsey, Kittel, Monster, all of them are probably going for a decent amount of points. They need to average 22 between the three of them, but any one of them can go for 30 or 40 points in any matchup here. Monster going up against one of the worst run defenses in the league, going to be a little bit involved in the passing game, has multiple touchdown upside. I think that any Super Sunday with the Kansas City Chiefs in it is going to be a high-scoring matchup here. So Kelsey has a chance for 30 points. Kittel has a chance for 30 points. Monster has a chance for 30 points. All of them can put up 30 points. All of them should be around the 20-point range, so 68.5 in full-point PPR format is not unattainable here. They can all get huge volume, so I like that one, but you can go with a 2x if you want. You can go with 3x if you want. I'm just going with a 5x, so you can take it or leave it. Go as ballsy as you want. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow, give you some more props for NBA. I'm out of here. See you, kids.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on Draftkings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Grinderslive flagship show, 6-game slate. We're here We're grinding it out here. I'm going to be here with Big T for the next hour, breaking you down some players, some games, even a lineup or so that we're gonna build for you, and just try to get through this little 6-gamer here. But there's a lot of things going on here. I'm gonna bring in Big T here in a minute, and first thing I want to ask this man is, we are T-minus roughly about 72 hours from feeling the Nashville vibes, and then another 24 to 48 hours after that, we're going to be doing a little basketball, right? Please tell me you're ready, because I'm looking up and down this team I'm on, and outside of you, it may be a struggle here, man. Please tell me you're ready to carry the weight like a little James Harden action, right?
No, there's just no chance we lose. Have you seen these bums on these other teams? Dan Bach is the captain of a team. No team with Dan Bach as a captain and Soccer Dave as the top pick is beating us in basketball, I'll tell you that much. Another team has a 4'3" captain. We're not losing to these bums. Are you kidding me?
All right,
we should be like what are we playing to? 15? We're like a 9.5 point favorite every game.
Here's the thing. So the odds are stacked. They're already trying to stack the odds against us. Dan Bach making a schedule. He wants us to play a game, and then as guys, and we got age on us now. We're not young guys anymore. He wants us to sit around for a couple hours and then come back and run like 4 straight games. He's got us behind the 8 ball here, man. What's up with that?
Yeah, and it's funny how his team, a bunch of old has-beens, has no back-to-backs. There's only 4 teams. How does he not have a back-to-back? It's a shame what's going on, but we like to play against adversity, and, at least we get to play Dan Bach last, so it's like a bye anyways, going into the playoffs.
Very, very good point. So that should be fun, guys. If you haven't heard, we got a big party this weekend. We're going to run a little basketball, so should be a fun thing to at least follow. I think they're going to have it up here, and you're going to have a little video of it, so pay attention to that. I think there may be even be on the lookout for like some player props that are going to drop. Maybe we got a little promotion here, a little player prop, maybe a little
DFS. We're going to do it. Where's this prop sheet at? We need
maybe props. a little DFS action here. Maybe somebody can keep tabs on some scores, some stats, and have a little DFS action. Should be a fun time. But guys,
how's your game looking? Is your game looking strong?
Oh, man. I guess compared to some of these guys, I'm probably going to be in pretty good shape, but you know how it is, man. It's got, it's a work in progress here, man. I got to figure some things out. I was telling you earlier today, I don't have that sharp movement like I used to be. I used to be sneaky quick, man. I'll get by you. I'll get by you off the dribble. I don't know if I can get by you.
Still get by DB and Will.
I think I could get by these guys on a little backdoor action. So if you got those eyeballs, you keep your eyes on me for that backdoor action.
Coach Priester's in the chat right now. I guarantee Coach Priester, you give him a little juke, I'll hit you on that back cut. That's easy.
Oh, I like it. Now you're talking. That's why I can still back cut. That's for sure. But got a lot of things going on here, guys. First off, with the chat, I want to point out, I'm looking at some Discord. I'm going to hang out in there. That's very entertaining stuff right there. Also, the YouTube chat. If you got questions, you fire them up in YouTube. I'm going to be looking at that. There's certain segments of the show where I'm just going to take a look at YouTube and try to get you guys involved, answer your questions. And you know what? The questions don't even have to be about the NBA tonight. You can ask Big T about his training regimen. You can ask me about any diet tips. If you may need some diet tips from me, I got some diet tips from you. Whatever you want, just fire off some questions later on. We're going to talk. We're going to chat. We're going to shoot the breeze here because 6 games, man. We'll get through this pretty easy. And this should be nothing. But Big T, also got to point out here with this Super Bowl Sunday coming up, it's the showdown of all showdown slates. Millions of dollars on the line here, and you got a little package out there on StakeKings. Tell me about your package on StakeKings. I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so I've sold a bunch of stuff on StakeKings over the last year, but it's usually just small tournaments like Millie Maker for $1,500 and stuff like that, and it always sells out easy, and it's little stuff. But the Super Bowl, we packaged it all into one thing. We got 12 entries in the 5K Millie Maker on DraftKings. We maxed out a bunch of other tournaments. So there's 3 tournaments with the Millie up top. 76,000 total in buy-in. So we went big, and you can get a piece, on StakeKings if you want to get in there and win with us.
Listen, I got my piece reserved, and I got to get in there. This guy's proven over the years that just absolutely the premier showdown guy when you give him the time to prepare for it, and he puts in the work. I know he does, and get it with $1 million on the line.
And we got 12 of that big one. There's only 400 entries, and we got 12 of them. So
that's
a
legit
the price
chance.
Sucks, but 12 of 400. I like our chances. I think we're going to have a big day.
That is not a typical millionaire maker where you really got to get lucky. That is a legit chance for a skilled guy to pull it off, especially a guy who knows how to make his lineup a little bit different than some of these duplicates that are going to be out there. So, you know what? I can't wait to get it. If you haven't got a piece of that yet, you better get it because there's really not much left, and it probably won't.
We're down to only like 9% left.
Yeah, I give it probably another day or so until it's going to sell out. So just get a little piece, man. You can get in as cheap as like $5. Get in. The guy beats it and goes for 20 times his money. That's 20 times your money also. $5 if he beats that thing, that could get you $100 off of $5. So
that's the thing. Like, just because the package is big, you don't have to like get a big piece. You can get a little sweat in there for $20 or $50, and you get all those tournaments. So
how'd you like to
don't think you like got to go crazy. You can have fun with it.
Don't worry about all that. Whatever. That's the thing about Stake Kings. None of that other stuff matters. It matters how much times his money does he go. That guy who puts up. If he goes 10 times his money, you're going to get 10 times whatever you put in minus a little bit of rake. There's a little rake there, but it's a good format, guys. I suggest you get in there and knock it out. But what else we got here? The like and subscribe. Got to hit up the like and subscribe. Like I said, I'm on the YouTube chat looking for questions out there. I'm on the Discord chat. But if you're on that YouTube chat, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe, man. That's what keeps us. That's the fuel here that keeps this machine running these days. This is a free show, guys. If you want to keep it up, hit that like and subscribe. If we get 200 likes today, and I don't know what our status is right now, but if we get our 200 likes, then everybody gets a free grind down on Thursday, tomorrow. Notorious with his grind down, like one of the premier articles on RG for NBA. It's free. Just need 200 likes. But I think we should surpass 200 likes. So please, by all means, hit that like button. It don't take you no time to do it. So get in the chat, do that. Keep your eyes open. All kinds of good stuff flinging around today. So I don't know, man. What do we got here? We're about 8 minutes into this show. I guess it's time to start looking at some basketball. Have you had a chance to really dig into this particular slate and all the news that's come in so far, which hasn't really all been that big, but have you dug into it yet?
Yeah, so I mean, we're kind of almost in a little bit of a waiting game tonight based on a bunch of – you got the screen share up, right? Can we show this situation room and go through the situation room for a minute?
Well, heck yeah, man.
Let's pull that puppy up. Let's see what we got.
Yep. Let me get to that page.
Because I think it's key every night, but tonight it feels like there's a lot of information out there. In honor of our boy Dean, we need some body parts, and there's a bunch of spots out there that could swing the whole night based on if a guy plays, if a guy doesn't play type thing.
There we go. We got the situation room on its way here. Here we go. All right. Oh yeah, there's some good stuff here. And of course, we're not gonna we're not gonna do the Dean thing and break all these crazy guys down to you. But as we go here, and we're not gonna necessarily go game by game either, but we kind of are. We'll figure that out as we go. We're winging it here, man. But as you can see, I got the situation room pulled up, and like you said, there's some good news out here. Some things we got to keep our eye on. The big one out here, I guess, that we don't know about, and we're kind of guessing, and it's the last game of the night or the late game. James Harden out there, questionable for Houston. What's your thoughts on James Harden here? Do you think we're going to get James Harden playing, or is he sitting out, or what's the deal?
So that's what I'm saying. It's super. Let me see here. He's usually pretty tough. He missed the last game, obviously. I kind of feel like he misses again. And obviously, I mean, this information is obviously will swing the whole slate. And it stinks because the game's not till 10 o'clock. But at least there's two games tonight where on the late swap sites like DK, Yahoo, these sites where you can swap later, at least you have a chance to move on some guys. And like that OKC Sacramento game is good. There's plenty of options late. But, man, Harden I feel like he always plays. But he might actually be hurt. I don't know. I'm genuinely torn by it. I wish the news would just break quick so that we don't I guess it gives you an edge, though, the longer it waits. But, man, what do you think? I mean, I can't fully decide here. I'm on the fence a little bit.
This is a tough one. And it's not really much of an issue if you're on DraftKings or late swap site, because it's a game that features Damian Lillard and Hassan Whiteside. So you could take that big salary if you have Harden, and you can get off of him and go to a really good player. But, man, if you're playing on FanDuel where you don't get that late swap, you got to make a decision. And I don't know, man. This is a tough one. I think he's legit injured. So I don't know. On FanDuel, I don't think I'm going to play him. I'll tell you that much. And on DraftKings, like I said, we can get away from it. We can make some adjustments, but I don't think he plays. It's just a guess, but I'm not in the Houston locker room. I have no idea what's going on. So I don't know, man. Let me get back to the starting lineups here, because that's where I want to be. And this is what I want to do. I want to start with that game right there. Let's talk about this game a little bit. We don't know about the status of James Harden. We are I don't know. McCollum I guess they said he is going to play, so McCollum's probably going to play. To me, this one jumps up as the most appealing game. It's later in the night, but let me see. Yeah, it is the last game of the night. Well, it's second. Two of them are the late games.
Yeah, the late
but
one.
This one's the most appealing to me. It's got the highest total at 239, way blows past every other total. You got the question mark with Harden, but aside from that, Westbrook should be coming back tonight. Capella should be coming back. By the way, the Utah Jazz, man, how did they get romped the other night by a Houston team with no Harden, Westbrook, they didn't just get beat, which I would just, man, I ain't going to lie to you. I kept live betting the hell out of Utah. Here it comes. And I lost a ton that night on that, man. Houston beat them outright by double digits.
Going into that slate, I seriously thought that they'd win by 30, like Utah. I didn't play Eric Gordon. I didn't play any of those guys because I thought Utah would blow them out. That's why, I mean, in the NBA, if a team doesn't show up to play, it literally doesn't matter. The other guys are professionals too, and people forget that. How many times do we see it when the skeleton team comes in and just pounds the other team? Literally, if you don't show up, it's like us on Sunday. If we don't show up to play, I mean, scrub teams like DB, they'll beat us. We got to show up and be ready to play, because that was ugly, man. That might have been the most shocking game of the year.
It might have been. They got whooped from beginning to end. Utah did. I was a little bit surprised, but Houston. Let's see what happens tonight here against Portland. Portland will bring the Thunder. I got a quick question in chat here. He wants to know if I like the Dusty Baker hire. Alex wants to know if I like. I'll tell you what. I think managers in baseball are probably one of the most overrated, like, coaching things in all the sports. Managers don't do much. Just pull pitchers here and there. Just don't let them.
Unless you got that cheating scheme going, and they got a nice little. They got a nice little.
That's history. Then we can't. There's no way they could go back to that, because too many eyeballs on them now, man. But Dusty's okay, man. Why not? Dusty will probably get a little. So he'll straighten them up pretty good. We'll see. I don't mind the Dusty hire. And then let me look for this cup. Chris says, Big T and Chop, like going to the gentleman's club on a Wednesday when they got all the hot weekend strippers in there. I think that's a pretty good comparison, man. That's kind of what it's like instead of some of these other slouches out there. You get the A team, man, on a Wednesday. That's crazy stuff.
I like that comparison, though. No one likes to go in on a Wednesday and you got the big fatties, the ones that no one wants, the old dudes. You got the old dudes up front and center just loving it. I mean, you can't. No one likes that.
Yeah, the A team usually doesn't show up for Wednesday lunch session because the dudes are just in there for the free steaks. They're not really giving out the giblet.
They're sitting back in the chairs, trying not to spend any of their money. Like that. That's what happens on Wednesdays.
I'm gonna need a Nashville guy. Devin, our producer, you're a Nashville guy. I need you to hit me up and let me know if there's any good strip clubs in Nashville, man, that we can get to.
I don't know if we can do it on the free show, but I got a pretty good story from a few years ago. I don't think we can break it on this. We might have to save it for save it for down the road on a Prim Factory or some other.
He's going to tease us like that, but we'll figure some things out. Let's get back to this Houston game. So they should be more at full strength tonight, maybe minus Harden, but still at full strength. And on the other side, Portland going to bring Lillard. And the one guy who's interesting to me here for Portland, and I think this holds true for a few guys tonight, Carmelo Anthony. Some of these guys are going to be playing their first game since the Kobe Bryant deal, right? Some of these guys, really good friends with that guy, very emotional. some of them may go out tonight and really try to pound out like a 50-point game just to honor their buddy, man. So Carmelo's interesting because he was really good friends with Kobe. So talk to me about this game in general. And are you high on Carmelo or any of these other guys out there that may be trying to put up a big 50 burger for Kobe's honor?
I'm for sure high on Chris Paul just because they were buddies. A lot of these guys are buddies, though, so it just depends on how much it means to them. And I think guys like Chris Paul, Melo, though, Melo, they had some good battles in the playoffs. Melo and him were, like, really good buddies. So, God, I just struggle when Portland's at full strength. And Dame Lillard has been just on a different planet the last 2 weeks. So, I struggle a little bit more with Melo, but he's the type of guy that could get you over the hump in a tournament because he's got to be pretty low owned. He just has to be. And this matchup is so good. Like, what if Capella doesn't play? Whiteside, like, who's going to guard Whiteside?
Yeah,
Tucker? The other night, Tucker just owned Gobert.
Gobert didn't. I would have thought that against Gobert, and Gobert went out there and just sat on his 3-point first quarter and didn't do nothing for like another 20 minutes. So who knows, man? Sometimes it has a reverse effect there. Sometimes you get one of them small lineups in there, and then the big guy just gets totally bamboozled and run off the court. So. But I agree. I think there's some interesting pieces here to this game. Lillard, McCollum, Whiteside, and I like the Anthony narrative. I may be playing some Anthony, and then especially when you look on FanDuel and you got to have a specific two small forwards and 2 power forwards, and if you get bogged down and you don't really like 2 guys, there's nothing wrong playing a little Carmelo Anthony. And on the other side, let's say Harden is out for this game because it's questionable thigh injury. Who's your guy? Who guys you're going to?
I don't know how you don't play Westbrook because everyone remembers that playoff series where Dame and him getting into it. This dude's waving goodbye to him with that meme that everyone had where his face is in the dog pile and he's rooting. It's tough for me not to play Westbrook even if Harden plays. It's crazy looking at these two and seeing the same price. But Westbrook has been way better than him. And I'm not a Westbrook guy either. The people that have listened to me the last however long, 5 or 6 years. I don't like Westbrook, but lately he's been just way better than Harden. It's just the facts. And unlike FanDuel, where you're not sure if Harden's going to play, I think you get a decent edge playing Westbrook in there and just locking him in there. And then if Harden is out, you got the nuts. If Harden plays, you're still okay. You're not as good as you would be, but it's okay. I like it. And this game, man, what is it, a 240 total, 239 total. It should be a close game. I like the Portland side. I think I like Melo with you. You're talking me into it a little bit. I think Portland wins this game, and I think Melo's good. I like that call.
Yeah, so I think there's some interesting pieces to that game, and we'll see how it plays out. But I think it could be high scoring, and Vegas certainly tells us it's the one that's most likely to be off the charts, and I agree with the Westbrook call.
We got to talk about this Draftkings. We got people actually watching. People are swooping up this action here. I love it. This show, we got it going. We're joining forces here on the Grinderslive. I think like 4% just jumped off the board. Someone must have scooped.
Well, I think they see what a good deal we're working here, man. They don't just get one tournament; they get all your tournaments. So all you got to do is
once it's gone too. I'm not putting any more up. So there's only what 6%. There was 9.5%. It's down to 6%. So people are swooping it up.
Get in there, guys. It is going to sell out here pretty soon, but it makes for a good sweat there, man. On Sunday, if you can't get in that $5,000 buy-in. Get some
Where's Kirkwood at? We need Kirkwood in here. How do we not have a 3-man booth with Kirkwood? Does Kirkwood think
he's out there?
He's out there. He's going to play.
He's out there shooting videos, man.
He did send me one today from the gym again. He's in the gym 4 straight days. That's the kind of guys I draft, though. I draft guys that got heart. You got to have heart. Can't be a quitter like Meansy. I'm bringing my shoes. I played at Duke. I'm bringing my shoes. Come on, Meansy. Not only bring your shoes, bring your jersey and strap them up, big boy. We're coming for you.
I'm going out on a limb. I'm saying 0% chance Meansy rolls out of bed by 11 a.m. Nashville time. There's just no way that guy.
He wants no smoke. He does not want it. He doesn't got the heart.
Buddy, you're getting on him now. Let's talk about the next game on the board I got the wrong page here. No, here we go. What's the next page? The next game I like here after that Houston game, the one I find very, very intriguing is this Memphis, New York game. Let's talk about Memphis, New York. You know what? That brings us into a nice little segue here. Let me talk about the sharp side streak, all right? Because my sharp side streak involves this game. I got Ja Morant over the 16.5 real-life points as my streak. Now, if Devin will bring up that graphic, I think my streak is sitting at 4, Big T. I got a 4-game streak here. I need Ja to hit this over. If he pounds this over, I'm going to be at 5. You know what happens when you get to 5 wins in a row on sharp side? Now they start feeding you real-life cash. Straight cash, homie. Real-life money. You get to 5, and then after that, you hit every game after that is $10. Then you get to 10, and every game after that, you get $20. This is real cash, guys, for a free app and a free contest. So I'm at 4. Seems like just yesterday I put the first streak in, so it's not like it's hard to figure this stuff out. Just do it. Put one in every night. And if you get lucky and you get up to 5, now you start getting real money. So I got Ja Morant going over 16.5 real-life points tonight. Sharp side, what's your deal? Who do you got locked in tonight?
Man, I lost. I think I had like a 3-gamer going last night, and I freaking lost, and I forget who I even took, but I wasn't happy.
You took Portland today.
Yeah, that's who I wanted. When we were talking about Portland, I'm glad I forgot who I even sent in, but I'm glad I got Portland because they're going to win. I almost just did the money line. Like, you can do the money line or the points. Just out of respect, I almost took the money line just for fun because, they're winning the game, so I don't need the points. Tell them whoever calls next, whoever gets on the app next can have my points. I don't need those. But I like Portland. You got to get in there and play that though. If you're not doing the contest on there, it's free. Yeah, get in there and have fun with it.
Yeah, no problem. And I was surprised. I thought we were just getting like some FanDuel money at the end of this thing, and turns out you got levels. There's levels to this game. Hit your first 1 through 5. Hit your first 5. That's your warm up. Once you get to 5, now you start getting money. And don't let yourself get up to like 10 picks in a row. And then you're really starting to roll in some money. That could be a little bank builder for you. So. Good stuff. Sharp side, I've downloaded, guys. Get in that contest. Big time stuff. All right. This game right here, though, Memphis, New York. So that kind of tips my hand here. I'm a big Ja Morant fan tonight. I think his only problem in his NBA career, short NBA career, but he's been very productive. He just doesn't get the minutes. Like, if he ever gets minutes, when he gets minutes, he puts up a monster game. He can put up a monster game. This is a trip to New York. These guys always get hyped up for this Madison Square Garden game. So I think Ja is going to bring a little extra thunder. Melton is out tonight, so maybe we get a few extra minutes out of Ja. And I like Ja Morant, man. He's one of my favorite picks on the board. What do you think about this game in general?
I always Memphis is a fun team. They're battling for the playoffs. No one thought they'd be any good. I like them, and they're starting to give Ja more minutes too, which, to be honest, that's the only reason we haven't played him all year. Like, he's been amazing all season long. The only reason was those minutes. You look at his minutes lately. Let's pull them up. Hopefully I'm right because I'm going with it. But 29, 33, 31, 34, 33, even had a 36 in there, which might not sound like a ton to some people, but earlier he would not go over 30. So if you got a chance to get upwards of 35, 36 minutes, that just boosts his upside so much higher. 7,300 against the Knicks. I like Memphis. Memphis is an exciting team, and I like that call tonight.
Yeah, and the game in general. Are you of the same? Do you recognize the same thing? Sometimes I see where guys travel to the Madison Square Garden, and it's like some kind of special deal for them. Like, they love playing in front of that big, that big crowd or that venue. Is something special about that. So sometimes you see guys have bigger games than normal. Press for it, and so I like that, Ja. But there's a lot to like in this game. On the other side, Julius Randle is going to be I think he's going to be fairly popular tonight. He should be. He's a monster right there. Jonas Valanciunas, his guy's been pretty good, man. They traded for him out of Toronto, starting to give him minutes. When he give this big guy minutes, he's been crushing. So there's a lot of pieces to this game that could fall right in line. What do you think about your boy Julius Randle?
I like him. I mean, Randall's been crushing all year. He's quietly had a big year, and everybody kind of made fun of the Knicks, and they did make some bad moves. I mean, I don't know what they were doing, but Randall, he's just solid, and he keeps getting better, adding on to his game. And against Memphis, they don't really have anyone that can match up with this guy. So he's a little pricey. Like, I don't think he's definitely not a great value. But when you're playing him with Ja, I mean, these are the type of guys that you can put with some chalkier plays that get you over the hump and a nice little two-man game stack, like with both of them. Not a game stack, but you know what I mean, where you got one guy on each team and you got upside with both of them. They can play back at each other a little bit.
Yeah, should be a fun little game here, and there's some spots here where you could save a little money, and maybe you just never know about a game like this. There's no rhyme or reason to some of this game, or the team like the Knicks who can just sometimes they're really bad and they give a run to guys that probably don't even deserve it. But it's an interesting game from a DFS perspective. Let's get on here to the next game, which. After that one, for me, it kind of falls off. There's 4 more games, but they're not I don't find them super appealing. I'm going to go to Utah now because at least we have an injury in this game that we can capitalize on. Utah traveling to San Antonio with a 220 total. The injury is LaMarcus Aldridge, who's still out. We saw last game with Aldridge out. Man, Jacob Poeltl absolutely just dominated. So you got that in your back pocket tonight. He's a lock and load on FanDuel where he's only $4,400. And then, of course, LaMarcus being out bumps other people up too. Your boy Trey Lyles is in the mix. He's cheap enough. What about the Spurs team with LMA out?
So, but this is where I'm always fully honest. Like, this is one of my weaknesses with the NBA is like Poeltl. It's under Meansy's core plays. He's one of the best values of the slate. He's coming off a game where he went for 40 fantasy points, and I just don't see it. Like, I just can't play Poeltl versus Utah. Utah's coming off a loss where they got embarrassed. Poeltl's going to be high owned. I just don't see it. Like, and this is my weakness. I'm admitting it. Like, I can't play Poeltl. I just can't do it. And he's probably one of the best plays on the slate. I would rather just play Trey Lyles for less money or Rudy Gay for less. I mean, Poeltl on DK is 5,600. On FanDuel, he's 44, but he's a center. Like, he's fine on FanDuel. I mean, he is cheap on FanDuel, but DK, 5,600. I can't do it. Like, what do you do with these spots? Because I do know it's my weakness. I think I need to play these guys more than I do. But, man, I just can't do it. I don't like him. I don't think it – coming off that, I think it's a perfect storm against him. He had a great game. Utah had a terrible game. The matchup isn't great. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I don't think I'll end up playing him on DraftKings. I think that is a little bit – I'll let other people take a shot there on DraftKings. Wow, man, look at that ownership on DraftKings. 45% projected ownership.
If Meansy, this is a credit to Meansy too. If you go into premium and you look at core plays and Meansy has them, they're going to be high owned. He doesn't put dudes in there that aren't going to be super, super chalky, which I like. I like that because then you can know where the chalk is. And I mean, if he's going to be 50% owned at 4,600 or 5,600, I mean, I can't even imagine playing that. And I'll probably lose because of it.
I can definitely fade him on DraftKings and Fantasy Draft. On FanDuel,
it's harder.
I think I'll play him. 44 really opens it up for you. And
it just sucks that he's a center on FanDuel, though.
Well, it'd help if he was a power forward, but I think I can still play him on FanDuel because that's just so cheap that he just doesn't need very much. But we haven't built it. Maybe we'll build a lineup here in a minute and figure out on FanDuel if we really need to play him or not. It's just such a good price. But like you said, Trey Lyles is in the mix. He's cheap, especially on DraftKings. He's a much cheaper. DeRozan, I mean, because we're projected to score some points for the Spurs. Not that they're going to get shut down, held under 90. They're going to score some points. DeRozan's been pretty hot lately. You got any interest in DeMar?
Yeah, I mean, DeRozan he's been good. I'm not a DeRozan guy really either, but he's been solid. And, yeah, I think you can get Utah more from the perimeter than inside, which is another reason I don't love Poeltl. Like, DeJounte Murray is only 4,400. All these guys, DeRozan's cheap, Murray's 44, Rudy Gay's 37, Lyles is 38. I mean, all these guys are so cheap that really the only one – I mean, in total, 44 on FanDuel, you can definitely play him, but I just like the fade. I mean, it makes sense to me. But, yeah, DeRozan, I definitely like him and these other guys.
So you mentioned that big blowout and maybe being a little pissed off here coming into this game. What do we think about the other side of that? The Utah side. You like any kind of taking the hammer out on San Antonio to make up for the other night?
I just don't like Utah. When they get Conley back in here, they got him playing probably 25 minutes tonight. They're fine. I mean, a lot of these guys are fine, but I just don't want to play him. I mean, Donovan Mitchell's always one of the better plays. I never play him. I don't know. I don't like Utah tonight.
Man doesn't like Utah.
One guy I like in that Knicks game, though, and Kirk Dees just talked about it in there. I like Mitch Rob at the same price as
really?
total against Memphis. Same price. That's a tournament pivot for me. Like, play the chalky team instead of playing Podol. Play Mitch Rob, and you're gold.
All right. He likes a little Mitchell Robinson. That guy's got some upside, that's for sure. So we'll take a look at that here when we build our lineup, see what we can get out of it. Let's go to another game here. Now we're starting to get into games that just aren't all that attractive. And we'll save you. I know you like Chris Paul. We'll save that game for later here. But next one on the board that at least I think I can pluck something out of, Chicago at Indiana, because we got Miles Turner out. So that means your boy Sabonis is actually going to – this guy's freaking money, man. Like, it's just some of these guys, man, in the NBA, it's so weird. You finally give them minutes, you finally give them a chance, and then they just smash all the time. And Sabonis, I didn't think he was going to be very much when he was with Oklahoma City. And they trade him over here, and he gets some time, he gets a little attention, and, man, he's a monster out there. So Turner's out. He's expensive, but any interest in Sabonis?
Yeah, you have to have some interest in Indiana. And the question of the night for me, though, I'm glad it's the early game because what's the deal with Oladipo? Because
he's coming back to play some minutes tonight for you. And
these sites have him projected like 25 minutes. And if he plays 25 minutes at 4K on FanDuel.
The 4K is egregiously bad.
That's what I mean.
That's bad FanDuel.
Unless he plays like 12 minutes or 15 minutes, which he's not going to. Like,
and even if he does, he could go 1.5 times every minute, like 1.5 points every minute because he's just that good. But, yeah, I'm with you on that one. That one's
there's really no downside, right? At 4K,
None.
I mean.
0.
Even if he plays 16 minutes, he's still probably going to get you 20 or something, and it's not going to kill you. There's a world probably where he gets even high 20s minutes. I mean, he's the type of guy that's always going to be in good shape when they bring him back. So I think he's a really good player. All these guys, though, I mean, TJ Warren's been pretty good. Sabonis, obviously. I mean, Chicago is so bad against guys like Sabonis. Brooklyn and Chicago are the two teams that I love to pick on with bigs. And like you said, Sabonis is he's just a great play tonight.
The Oladipo's the kind of guy where you plug that one in for 4K instead of using the 4,400 on the Podol and then, at the very worst, you're probably hanging with Pirtle, but at your very best, Oladipo's outscoring him by 10 or 15, and then you blew up those other lineups that have Pirtle in there. So I don't mind. Though. Oladipo was real good on the Masked Singer too. Did you ever catch him on the Masked Singer?
I did not. I don't watch much of those singing shows.
He finished top 3. He's a really good singer, Oladipo, man. He's a really good singer. So what about the Chicago side? Indiana's a tough defense. It's just not my cup of tea, but we do have a couple injuries, and apparently we're going to get some Luke Cornett action tonight. I don't know if I'll ever play Luke Cornett here in this spot, but talk to me about anybody on Chicago you might like.
The only guy that I could even imagine playing is Levine, and I don't love the spot. I mean, Indiana has some good defenders to check guys like Levine, so I don't see a whole lot I like on that side.
All right, let's go to the next game. It's our 5th game on the board. Kind of working it down to where, from top to bottom, the games I like and the games I'll probably have smaller exposure to. But Detroit, Brooklyn is the next game I want to talk about. And the big one for me here is Kyrie Irving, a huge, huge friend to Kobe Bryant. So another narrative thing going on here. Man, I could see Kyrie coming out and just dropping. And it's Detroit, so it's kind of the perfect storm for him. He's going to get a bad defense in the backcourt. Man, I could see Kyrie having just a really monster game here. What do you think about Kyrie tonight?
Yeah, he's the guy. I mean, he's the guy for me. He was maybe the closest of anybody to Kobe. I mean, after they won the title a few years ago in Cleveland, Kobe was the first guy he called in the locker room on FaceTime. Like they were that good of buddies. And I mean, they talked trash. They had friendly banter, but they were close, man. And he's gonna light it up. He already likes to chuck. Now you give him a little narrative. I mean, good luck. He's gonna
bad defense.
Bad defense. Good luck fading this guy tonight because he ain't gonna be a guy I fade.
Yeah, it's a great spot for him. Other than that, though, man, I can't really see a whole lot in this game that I like.
Drummond for sure. Are we 100% he's in?
You know what? I'm seeing questions in the chat, like any news on Drummond, so maybe there's no real clarification yet. I'm not sure.
I mean, I think like 5 straight games against Brooklyn and Jared Allen, he's gone 20-20. So
yeah, Jared Allen's a little bit thin to be guarding that guy, man.
So that's what I'm saying, like on FanDuel, like if Podol's going to be mega chalk, all of a sudden you play Kyrie and Drummond right out of the gate, and you're kind of different with massive upside. Like throw in Oladipo, like you said, there's your cheaper guy. Just by playing Drummond and Kyrie together, they're both in such a good spot too that I love that.
Yeah, Jared Allen and his frame trying to guard Andre Drummond and his frame is like if they were to stick SBK on you at the party just that
like
thin
putting
guy.
JSU on me. I mean,
that's just the height difference. Now you're just getting into the height. I was just talking about the framework.
You should have heard this guy too. Like JSU's like, no one likes guarding me because I get into them and I'm tough. And come on, JSU.
Yeah. I don't know.
We got to let people know on this show. I mean, people don't get a hide.
There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on, guys, that y'all don't even know about. There's a lot of noise, but we're going to see. It's all going to play out on Sunday, so get ready for that one. But we're moving on down here. We got about 20 some odd minutes left in the show. One more game here we want to cross over before we get to building some lineups and taking some questions here and stuff like that. The Oklahoma-Sacramento game is the last one I have listed. Outside of Bagley, who's going to be out again, fairly healthy for both teams. But you mentioned, you threw something at me earlier that I wasn't expecting. You said Chris Paul may have this game, a big game tonight. So talk to me about the game in general, but specifically what you think about Chris Paul tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that same narrative. He sat out the other night, and I think he wants to come back strong here. But we start to get into a problem with point guards, especially because let me pull up this updated list. But you got a lot of the better players are at the same position. Like I love Westbrook, I love Kyrie, I love Chris Paul. All these guys. Let me pull up. Who am I missing? Really just those guys. I mean, I'm looking at some of the other spots. Like Dame's been incredible, but I don't think you can really play him tonight just because I have to play those guys. Kyrie, Russ, and CP3.
We got JSU in chat calling you soft. Oh, this is good. He's in the YouTube chat.
The good thing about it is we already got a $1,000 one-on-one match set up, and the even better part about it is, Chop, I'm free rolling him because he bet on the Cowboys. I had the Eagles. I mean, I get a free roll for 2K.
Goodness gracious!
That's not soft, JSU.
He's on you, man. This is
I can't wait.
Guys, we're at about mid-80s on the lights. Get us up to 200 so you can get the free grind down tomorrow from Notorious. And if we get to 200, we'll randomly select one name here, and Big T will dedicate that first three-pointer to you on camera on Sunday morning. He'll dedicate that first three-pointer to you. So we need to get up to 200 likes. We're climbing the ladder here, but we need to get there. So we appreciate you tuning in. Is that all you got for that game? Can we talk about some questions here in chat, or you got anything else on that game? You like any of that De'Aaron Fox or any of that stuff from the other side running it back?
I mean, again, like Fox, I kind of like Fox, but point guard's just loaded, and I don't like Fox against these dudes. So, yeah, I'm good with him.
Yeah, I'm seeing people question Irving questionable. Kyrie, I think he's actually just got put up to probable, so that means he's
playing. Like the only reason he sat was the whole Kobe thing, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. So I think he's probable, and I would expect him to have a big game. So, guys, fire off some questions if you want to fire off some questions here. If I miss them, Devin will get them and run them back to me. We'll go over here. Let me refresh my Draftkings.
You know what the worst thing on Twitter is? Like how you have your feed up where you get all the injury info and stuff.
Yeah, and I know exactly what you're about to say. I just ran into it.
When they pop up the freaking injuries for the next day, like, come on. No one cares about injuries for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm all looking for who's Boston play tonight? Who's Boston play? Boston's not playing tonight.
Nuts, man. Like, there's no way anyone likes that. Like, not a single person out there goes and like, oh, man, I'm glad we got that info for tomorrow.
Nice and early. Get the Friday info nice and early here on Wednesday. But then we'll go to FanDuel. I'm going to build on FanDuel because we've been talking about positions and how we may catch some problems here. Limiting our positions are limited here on FanDuel. So let's start building. Here on FanDuel. We talked about the first guy that comes to mind here at that price tag is it almost seems like a free play, even with limited minutes on Oladipo. Is he a guy we can plug into he's only about 15% projected ownership. That's not too bad. Is he a GPP-worthy candidate on this team?
I like him just because of what he does for the roster, too. Like, I think a good tournament build – how much salary does – I don't even have it up on my screen. But if we were to play Kyrie, Westbrook, and Drummond, how much salary would that leave us?
Yeah, let me find him. Let me pull him up here.
And Oladipo for that matter, but –
Westbrook – Kyrie, Drummond, we still got 5,100 per player with all four of those guys in there.
We still got 5,100 with those four? Oh, yeah, like that. That's real tasty.
Yeah, that's going to be – and I like that. I like the way we do that. We got the Kyrie on the narrative running back with Drummond, who should have like you said, 2020 should be pretty easy for him in this game. We're approaching those numbers. Westbrook been just as good as Harden. We don't know if Harden's in, but we're on FanDuel. So not only do we get the benefit.
The only problem is, man, I like Sabonis. You were talking about you called him Saboner. I mean, Saboner was giving me a little something. So
let me see what happens if we plug him in there. 42.
We can't fit him too.
Now
what does it give us?
42 per player.
It still gives us 42. Oh, I love it. I didn't think we'd even have enough. We can play all four of those guys. That's like stealing.
42. We'd have to really.
We'll mix and match. That's what we do.
We have to grind out those. Well, let's talk about some mixing and matching. One guy I know is going to come cheap tonight. Let me see if the price is cheap on FanDuel. Yeah, 3,800 if we wanted to take a chance on the Pirtle fade and get Trey Lyles in there. Maybe this is the Trey Lyles 30-plus point game and Poto gets stuck on 20. You never know, right?
Absolutely. So I like it's such a good play. If you're not playing Poto and you're going a different direction like this, it's just so good of a play. I love Trey Lyles.
All right, we got that bumps us up to 4,400 per player. We haven't touched on small forward yet. We need two of them. You seeing anything out there that looks good at that small forward position?
So, I mean, right at the top of it's like everything's coming together for us today. I mean, it's our week. We're going to get a title. We're going to win a Millie Maker on Sunday so I can join you. And, I mean, Trevor Ariza at 3,700, how do we not play that?
Ariza, Portland against Houston. Let's pull up his card here on this lineup HQ because that tells us a lot. He's had some good success lately. We see that there's a touch of upside there. 2 games ago, he dropped the 37 spot. He's hit some 30s in this. So, yeah, I think that's a fine play. And, in fact, we're at FanDuel. He's going to get 18% ownership. So we know he's going to be a fairly decent play. Guys in this day and age in the NBA usually don't climb up the ownership ladder if they're not decent plays, if there's not something there. So he's there. He's going to get 18%, but we're going to be so different anyway. If at the very least, because we play Lyles and not Poto, we're already different, so we don't even care about ownership. I like the play. We're going to put him in there. That bumps us all the way up to 4,750 now for our last 2 spots. So me check the news real quick. Let me refresh the news and make sure we're not missing. Kyrie Irving is playing tonight. He is playing, so get your popcorn ready. I think that's going to be a good one. That's the only news update I got on that. But we're at 120 likes, guys. Come on, pump it up. Let's go. All right, what's next? Any more good salary savers?
How much do we got left if we play our boy Melo?
I don't know if we can fit Melo. Let me see. Melo's not super expensive, but hey, it's going to leave us $3,600 for our shooting guard.
36. Is there anyone down in the cheap seats we can scoop up here? Let's see what we got.
Let me pull up some. Let me sort it by salaries and start off at the bottom here. So
Dort, we can play some dude named Dort.
I bet. You know what? I don't know who that is. You'd have to, I'd have to. I have no idea.
Oh, it's bad. Oof. It's real bad.
Yeah, we kind of missed the cutoff on some decent players, so we'd be really hoping for that to hit that 15-point mark at the very least. Man, if we're 100.
What about our boy? What about Rudy Gay with Lyle? So we get
we are $100 short of Rudy Gay. That's what I was just gonna say.
He's small forward though, right? He's small forward.
So we get Carmelo out and we go with a different shooting guard. Yeah. All right, let's get Rudy Gay in there. We're fading Podol and he's got the kind of game. He's got the kind of game that could make things happen. So that bumps us up to 5,800 for our shooting guard spot. Let's see what we can make happen here.
What do we got? 58?
Whoa. We got some guys down here we can play. Yeah, we got some shooting guards, 58 or less, that actually stand out as pretty decent players tonight, man. You see what I'm seeing here?
Yeah, I like a few of these guys too. I mean, Dillon Brooks has been really good.
He's been really good. That's what I was going to say. It leaves us enough for Dillon Brooks. Look at his game log. 39, 33, bad game. 52. Now you're in New York facing a poor defense. Dillon Brooks looks like he can fit this lineup perfectly.
We got Harden and Capella expected to play.
Does that change your Westbrook at all?
It definitely makes me like him a lot less just because of how loaded point guard is. I still like him, don't get me wrong. On DK, I like him even more because you aren't limited to only playing 2. Like, you could play 3 if you needed to. But FanDuel, I do like our build still, though. Like, I love that build. But I do think he's a lot thinner than he was before.
Like you said, I still like this build. He's a little thinner. If you wanted to, you could take him out. And we could make
Is Dame the same price?
Dame's a lot cheaper. I like Dame quite a bit too. That's what I was just going to say.
How much is Dame?
He's like $1,200 cheaper than Westbrook on FanDuel.
Dame has been like ridiculous good the last 10 days.
And he's facing Houston. He always likes that game. That would leave us enough money to upgrade Rudy Gay or Dillon Brooks if we wanted to. See what that would get us for Rudy Gay. We're still in a bad.
Does it let us get Melo?
No, we're still in a bad spot there. We're still.
Even with that extra?
We'd be stuck on like Joe Ingles. So I don't like the Joe Ingles. So let's see if we kept Rudy Gay in there. I think Rudy is the weak. If I'm going to put a weakest link on this team, it's Rudy Gay right now. So
what if we play Chris Paul instead of Dame?
That might be interesting. Let's see here. If we let me go to shooting guard real quick. If we put Gay back in there and we took out Dillon Brooks, we'd up to $7,000. That would get you Dinwiddie, Buddy Hyde. I don't like that category either. So let's leave Dillon Brooks in there.
I like Dillon Brooks a ton.
Let's put Chris Paul in there. God dang it, man. I'm all over the place here. Chris Paul.
It's the process, though. That I like going through this because it's what you do on a daily basis.
It's usually pretty easy to get 6 guys in there. Then you start going 2v2, 3v3, and then that's what makes it either a good night or a poor night. But
it's the process every night, though. Like you get those guys you love, and you just start moving around and get a guy here, a guy there. Like that's the process.
Taking out Westbrook, putting in Chris Paul, big time narrative player there. 7,700 for a small forward. Man. Problem with small forward is, unless I'm seeing the wrong thing, I think our highest price small forward the whole night is $6,200. There's just no small forwards there. So we could play.
Forward kind of sucks too.
Well, we could play Carmelo and then upgrade somewhere else if you want to. Play Carmelo.
I like them. I like the narrative team. Like we got Kyrie, Paul, Melo. Like these guys, I like this move. Get Melo in there. What's
we'll get Melo. That leaves us 1,800. We can upgrade.
We can come off Lyles. I mean, we don't need to play Lyles. I mean, I like Lyles, the leverage with them though.
Either Lyles or Ariza, you can upgrade off of. So yeah, that's not a big deal. Let me see what. If it was Lyles, it would leave us 5,600. Well, now you're in the Thaddeus Young territory now. Brandon Clark. Brandon Clark's not terrible against New York, but I don't know. Let's see. If you came off of Ariza, small forward's a pretty weak spot anyway. You would be out there in the,
Yeah. Ariza's tough to come off for me because small forward sucks, and he's just so cheap that if you give me 20 plus from a dude 3,700 at a weak position, it's hard not to lock that in there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. For right now, I'm gonna leave this be. Put Ariza back in there just to show the people what it looks like. Got 1,800. Honestly, guys, on a night like tonight where there's no small forwards that are priced high, there's things, just big drop-offs in price tag all over the different positions. You can leave salary on the table. I don't like to do that in the NBA, but it can be done because this team right here has Kyrie, Chris Paul, Carmelo, Sabonis, and Drummond. Those are studs, man. Studs with narrative.
I love it too. Like those guys are Saboner. He's going to give people some boners tonight. I mean, he's going to get it going.
100%. All right, let's see. We're at about, what are we at? 140 likes, guys. So we got about 8 minutes left. Get us up to 200 by the end of the show. Just keep clicking it. I don't know if you can click it twice or three. I don't know how that works, but if you just click it, guys, click it. If you're tuned in, click the like button. Get your free grind down tomorrow and get your shout out from Big T when he makes his three-pointer on JSU on Sunday morning. First one.
I told him he's worried about me backing him down. I told him I don't even need to go inside the arc. I'll just like shooting over a chair, shooting over him.
Roth is good at shooting over those chairs. We've seen that on the video too. Kevin Roth can shoot over a chair.
Did you see this in the other chat though? Like this guy's acting like he's injured. He's like faking an injury or something already. I mean, you hate to see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying all that. But guys, fire off some questions because we got, in the next 5 minutes or so, I'll answer some questions for you if you got them. I'm in the YouTube chat right now, but I'll take them from anywhere, to be honest with you at this point. We'll look around and see what we can figure out. Devin, if you got any questions, if you've come across any questions, get them to me in the chat room. And other than that, man, give me something. Talk to me about who's your favorite player tonight. We're not going to end the show just yet, but let's talk in generals. We've hit up on a lot of guys. What's your favorite narrative tonight? We've talked about a lot of them, but what's your favorite one?
For sure, for me, it's Kyrie. If I had to pick one guy, it would be Kyrie. I mean, that narrative is super strong, and he's already Uncle Drew. When he wants to just chuck shots, he's going to chuck shots. Saboner is right there, though, too. I mean, these guys, Saboner is what, 8,500? He's 94 on DK, which he probably will end up low-owned on DK just because of the price. People aren't going to pay 9,400 for Saboner on DK. I think that's a very good play.
Yeah. So here's a question I came across earlier, and we'll get back to it now because I think it's interesting here. On DK, I guess the big GPP showdown tonight is the Indiana-Chicago game. Got the prize pull on it. Got any advice on a showdown, Indiana and Chicago, on DraftKings, where Oladipo's not priced, terribly bad? He's actually priced appropriately. What would be your showdown strategy on that particular game?
Let me see. I really haven't looked at all at it, but just how much I like the one thing I like doing in the NBA too is play a good guy in the captain. A lot of people don't do that, but lock in the monster score and just try to bank something somewhere else. Like right now, I think Jakar Sampson is like 1,200. He's projected 12 points. Like he's terrible, but just plug him in the utility. You got Sabonis up top, who's super expensive. I mean, Sabonis is 11.4. You plug him in and plug Sampson in and maybe one more cheap guy like Felicio even. I mean, how do you not play a guy named Felicio? I mean, we got Saboner and we got Felicio. Like, that's a winning combo right there.
It's going to be a good night tonight. Yeah.
How do you not win with that?
I'm with you. And in fact, we do this a lot in the NFL. I look at the Indiana team, man, I don't like playing players against Indiana. I think I can just put one Chicago guy in my lineup, run a bunch of Indiana guys out there.
Yep.
Sabonis up top. Maybe even it's a blowout. Maybe I play a couple guys who are in the lower price range on Indiana because they get a lot of fourth quarter runs. Sometimes that works, but I definitely like the blowout. Question for you. De'Aaron Fox and Trevor Ariza, or would you rather have Peyton and Melo?
Peyton and Melo, I think. I don't love the first one.
De'Aaron Fox, yeah. Oladipo or Bogdanovich on FanDuel Cash, and that's the Sacramento Bogdanovich. So I guess, Oladipo's he's got the good price tag, but he's got probably a minutes limit. What do you think, it's worth it, or just go for Bogdanovich?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one is like super close just because Bogdan doesn't get a ton of minutes either. I guess I'd still play Bogdan in cash just because you know what you're going to get. You don't know Oladipo. I think they're both good plays, though, honestly.
Yeah. Guys, we're up to 164 likes. Keep cranking them out. And I did forget to mention this, but I did see this earlier. Freaking Oladipo is min salary. $10 on Yahoo. Min salary. Guys, you got to play that one, guys. Got to get in there and play that guy. That's an easy one. So let me see. Any love for TJ Warren?
I don't mind him, but, I mean, with Oladipo coming back, Sabonis in there, he's been really good, but a couple guys have been out, too, for that stretch. I don't think I'd play him tonight with these guys coming back.
Rudy Gobert or Whiteside?
Oh, man, that's the easiest one yet. Like, Whiteside by a mile over Gobert. Gobert should be embarrassed from the other night. PJ Tucker kicked his ass.
Yeah, I mean, they did run him off the court pretty good there. Any love for Reggie Jackson tonight?
Definitely not.
No Reggie Jackson. I'm not a big Reggie Jackson guy either. Thaddeus Young? You like some Thaddeus Young?
I never liked Thaddeus Young. Like, Thad Young, I mean, I might take Mangone over Thad Young.
Whew. Meansy is doubtful is what they're saying in chat.
Meansy is not playing. I mean, him and Hoop, there's no way either one of them play.
Nah, we need the Hoop scoop. Your friend, you text with him, you do all the other stuff. What are the odds that he actually plays?
I've grilled him so hard the last week. I basically begged the man to come hang out, have some fun. He just keeps procrastinating and putting me off. No response. When you get no response, you know what that means for Hooper. He ain't coming.
That's a red flag when they don't even hit you back.
Yeah.
Do you know if he's at least going to make it out to Nashville?
Oh, if he comes to Nashville, he'll play for sure. But he's either not coming or he's coming all the way.
I'm telling you, man, that 11 o'clock in the morning doesn't suit all these guys at RG. Some of them can't make it at that time. They can't roll out of bed. These guys are a little young, man. They don't know. So, guys, what's our like count at, Devin? We got about a minute left. We're going to get out of here. 169, it's a good number. I'd love to stop on that, but we got to get to 200, guys. We're actually going to be out of here.
We got 1 minute left, so
I'm sure that carries over to crunch time anyway. So.
Oh, they got through crunch time? That's easy.
I think so. I don't know. Devin, you tell me. We'll go to live with it. So, guys, y'all got to hit up about 30 more likes to get your free grind down and all the other good stuff that comes with it. We're going to get up out of here. Big T, any parting words as we hit the skids here, man?
No, I mean, I think we covered it pretty good. We got the info, too. The Harden Capella news is big to get early. And just as far as that showdown, the Pacers lineup, Sampson's officially starting. So he's a really good showdown play if you're playing that showdown slate.
Yeah, guys, that's going to do it for us. We appreciate you tuning in, hitting the like button.
Drummond in, too, by the way. Drummond officially in.
Awesome news right there for us because that's going to help our lineup. I'll be playing some Drummond tonight. And guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hitting that like button. We're going to be out. This is my last show until Super Bowl Sunday, Nashville, the basketball game. So good luck to all you guys over the next couple of days. Good luck in those big tournaments on Super Bowl Sunday. Good luck to the Showdown King, Big T, winning us all giblets on State Kings, guys. And for Big T, I'm Head Chopper. Good luck in your GPPs, and we're out of here.